Hi, I'm Boz from Back on Track Living, as if I could keep that serious a face on. As DDPY isn't that well known in the UK yet, I thought I'd do a series of vlog videos just to try and explain what we're all about. Now, I'm quite well known for talking at great length and for too long, so you're going to notice this is a very jumpy edit style because I will just tend to go off on a tangent. So, about me. I love food, and I love beer, and I love wine, and I have a sweet tooth. My word, I have a sweet tooth. My grandmother, when I was a kid, and she was like, you must finish what's on your plate, you must eat your dessert, and dessert just became a thing. I finish a meal, and for 20 minutes after I finish eating something savoury, my brain is like, where's the sweet thing? Bring me the sweet thing, put the sweet thing in my mouth. And that's why I ended up quite overweight. Now, I've always been quite active. I was a fencer in school. I used to be a nationally ranked fencer when I was 15. And then I got into my work life and I started doing a job where my arms are above my head all day long, every day, doing fairly strenuous manual labour. That was good for keeping the pounds down. The problem is it made me complacent. I think I used to have a good metabolism. So I would do this job, running up and down ladders, carrying things around, and then I'd stop at McDonald's, I'd stop at KFC, I'd come home, I'd have pizza, I'd have several beers, I'd go to bed, I'd eat sweets, and then to find myself at 40, 41 with a lot of repetitive strain injury in all of my upper limbs, then taking a desk job because I couldn't physically do my job out in the field properly anymore. It was just a shock to the system. The body's like, I have too many calories, I have no exercise, I have no outlet for these calories, let's just store a lot of that, shall we? And that's where I ended up, 20 stone, morbidly obese, unable to do physical exercise other than days out in the field occasionally, arthritis in both big toes, repetitive strain in my forearms and hands, deformed shoulders, not able to lift weights, not able to run, not able to do fencing. I used to love squash and tennis, couldn't play squash and tennis anymore. I'd pretty much given up. Some awesome guys I know from New Jersey do a podcast, Masters of None, look them up.
Masters of None, a comedy podcast that doesn't suck.
And they were at a Comic-Con one year, and this guy, Diamond Dallas Page, comes on as a guest. And I'm like, I remember him, he wrestled. I wasn't really into wrestling, but I remember this dude.
Here at Comic-Con 2011 with none other than Diamond Dallas Page. How you doing, man?
Unstoppable. First 42 years of my life, I was a guy who would be caught dead doing yoga, but I ruptured my L4 and L5 so badly that, that's the flexibility that I had. Everybody would say, but DDP, how's your yoga doing? I go, it's not yoga.
So yeah, I'm listening along, expecting him to talk about wrestling stuff. And no, he was demonstrating a yoga system he'd made for guys. Guy yoga. And I was like, that's interesting. I, being the proactive and follow-through person that I am, shall immediately go home and internet Googlify this thing, and I shall find it, and I shall change my life. Of course, I completely forgot. I went home, I did nothing. Fast forward about 8 months, and I see this video online about this guy, Arthur Borman. Now, if you've seen my site, you've seen a link to this, you know what it is. I watched the video, and I was in tears by the end of it. I was like, if this guy can do that, what's my excuse? I don't have an excuse. So we bought the DVDs. Me, being the stand-up follow-through guy that I am, immediately upon receiving the DVDs, sat on them for 4 months. Did nothing. In fact, I picked up the DVDs whilst on my honeymoon in Miami and put on a lot of weight in Miami. I was huge. And it took me a while to get on it. And then some friends of ours decided to get married. And we thought, we need to look good for the wedding. A lot of people do that. Let's look good for this wedding. So we worked out. We started doing the system, started to see the results. The weight started to fall off. People started to comment. I started to feel amazing. Went to the wedding. We looked great in our suits and my wife in her dress and her high heels, and she looked incredible. And then we came back and I got a cold and I stopped.
Not if we can help it.
My head's so burning.
I'm a bit confused. Hasn't he just got a cold?
For God's sake, woman, he's a man. He's got a man cold.